Hey everyone, and welcome into Interviewing the Magic, Inside the Magic's brand new show where we sit down with unique current and former Disney cast members who have brought magic to the Walt Disney World Resort. I'm your host, Brian Perry, and today's initial episode is a special one because we sit down with a very unique cast member who's been with Disney for over 20 years. You might recognize him online from Inside Disney Parks, or you might recognize him from seeing him in the parks. Hollywood Studios specifically, because he's worked at the American Idol Experience, Light Motors Action, the Frozen Sing-Along, and so much more. It's time to interview the magic by sitting down with Mr. Mark Daniel.
Hey Brian, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm ready to talk to you, man, because I know your career as well, so I'm excited to just be interacting with you and talking and sharing some stories.
Awesome. Well, first thing I want to talk about before we dive into the real, meat and potatoes of the interview, I saw the other day you're hanging out with your boy, Jordan Fisher, right?
yeah, we're like this.
No big deal, right? Yeah, you're just on a castle stage in front of a couple thousand
some
people.
kind of backdrop, right?
So tell me about that. What was that like bringing back Happily Ever After for the cast and then eventually, obviously, the guests last month?
Yeah. Oh, it was surreal. The fact that they asked me to come and entertain the cast members before this exclusive event was just humbling for me.
I am here with the Magic Kingdom cast, and we'd like to say to Happily Ever After.
Because, we're coming out of the pandemic, and something iconic as Magic Kingdom fireworks coming back, and the fact that Melissa, the VP of Magic Kingdom, said, let's do this. Let's let the cast members of the Magic Kingdom experience the first showing of it. Was just very emotional, and I've been on that castle stage many times. You've been part of the Christmas parade as well, and that castle is an amazing backdrop. But it was just so surreal to be back on that stage in front of people. Jordan Fisher, not only is he a great performer, but he's a Disney favorite. He's almost like a cast member because I tell you, he hosted the holiday celebration the year before and then was part of it the year before that. And I would be out there warming up the crowd and he would come out, and sometimes on the downtime, we just talk to the guests and talk to his fans. And he was very, very approachable. So we shared a lot of stories. We talked, we joked around. So I had all this stuff that I would talk about. Jordan Fisher sings the title track. He got married, I think, not so many months ago at Cinderella Castle. He loves Magic Kingdom. So I had all this stuff to talk about. So I'm like talking to the stage manager, like, okay, I'll talk. And they say, oh, no, you can't. I said, why not? They said, well, no one knows this, but he is actually here. And I was like, what? So what a fantastic surprise.
So he didn't text you beforehand?
No, I was mad at him. I called him up and I was like, hey, man, what's going on? Because he was in my guest bedroom.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, no, that's super secretive. Yeah, very impressive, Jordan.
Could you imagine?
All right. All right, so let's get into your career and talk about, what you're doing today. If I were to find Mark Daniel's resume on a desk someplace, what is it going to say on it? What do you bill yourself as?
What I like to coin myself as is a live personality. Right. And that is, I can't explain what I do. You just have to put me in front of an audience. Right. And it's like I'm engaging. I try to have fun. I really am a style of warm-up host. There are different types of warm-up hosts. There is the warm-up host for TV, which is a good friend of mine, Ruben. He's a TV warm-up host, and that's a different style, playing music and different things like that. And I'm a warm-up host, but I am in the realm of the theme parks. And I get the beautiful backdrop of Cinderella Castle. And I had a long career at Disney. So if you put me in front of a Disney audience, I can talk to you for about 30 minutes. I can have some material, So that's one of the things I love about my job when they do ask me to go out in front of an audience at Magic Kingdom or at Epcot, or when we're shooting inside Disney parks. If you put me in front of a Disney-loving audience, it's all just candy for me. It's just a smorgasbord of fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, and you do a great job at it, so kudos to you ending up where you are today. And tell us about that process, becoming kind of the face for Inside Disney Parks. What led to that? How did you end up there?
I think the process was I did a show called The American Idol Experience, and that's when I really got to be very creative in my role at Disney, because it relied on me coming up with a lot of material on my own and entertaining the audience. I started doing that, and I would say that put me on a bigger. People saw me a lot more, and that's how when I went into started doing the warm up host for the Disney holiday celebration, and then I think the right people saw me and saw what I did, and really saw what I was doing was not easy, and they saw that I could engage an audience. So from there, I think it started taking off, and that moved into me auditioning for Inside Disney Parks, because they really wanted somebody to bring that energy, that live energy, and that magic through the screen to people at home.
Well, it's not easy. So kudos to you again.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on here and talk about, you've had such a great career at Disney. You've been there for over 20 years. Your favorite Disney memory that you've been a part of as a cast member?
Oh, wow. Favorite thing I've done all time Disney career. I think it was Destination D.
Wow.
I got to interview some very impressive people.
That's cool.
That was a lot of fun. I think my favorite thing of all in my career was I got to open Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Wow.
And that's a feather in anybody's hat.
Yeah,
Any cast
I'd say,
member,
yeah.
if you open a theme park, that is iconic, right? Because, that park is, Disney theme parks are iconic. They're around. And another one in Florida, come on.
Right, yeah.
So I think opening Disney's Animal Kingdom, I got to experience that whole process. I got to meet Joe Rohde. I was a performer in Dinoland USA. I portrayed what was called a paleontologist grad student. And I got Joe Rohde, actually, all the actors that got that role, he gave us a tour of Dinoland USA and told us the backstory. And Joe Rohde, he is a full-on character and a storyteller, visual magician. So that was a great experience. I got to see Michael Eisner, because Disney's Animal Kingdom was his brainchild. And on top of that, I got to open the world of Pandora and finally Galaxy's Edge. So those are the big things: opening Animal Kingdom and then opening the lands of Pandora and Galaxy's Edge.
That's three. I mean, those are three pretty cool things. I think, Galaxy's Edge is awesome. Avatar, I think, is the greatest themed area that Disney's built since probably Cars Land here in the United States. Opening Animal Kingdom is incredible. I mean, we're going on, 22, 23 years, so any day now, right? We're going to get another one any day.
Yeah, any day now.
All right, so this portion of the show is my favorite. Okay, I haven't done it yet, so I shouldn't say it's my favorite, but we're going to, roll the dice here and hope for the best. And I want you to be honest with me. This is the name of the segment. It is called Diz or Dat. Is that funny? Like
okay.
Diz like
or
Disney?
Dat. Okay. Is it a DAT though?
It is DAT, yes.
Okay, I'm feeling it. Because if it was TNT,
Thank you. You know that.
I'm feeling it. Diz or Dat. I'm with you.
That's a lot better answer than I was expecting.
And I'm a little partial because I like Black Sheep, that rap group.
Sure.
Yeah, that song, You Can Get With This, so you can get with that.
All right, first question. Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios, you can only pick one.
Animal Kingdom.
I can probably guess why.
Yeah, you know why. Yeah, that's why. I think, and also too, I'm gonna add to it too. Animal Kingdom is hands down the most beautiful theme park built in Florida. I'm gonna say it. If people don't agree, I will stand by it. Most beautiful theme park built in Florida.
I agree with that. All right, second question. Festival of Fantasy or Fantasmic?
Oh, that's a tough one. Oh, man. Okay, Brian, you got me. That's a tough one, but I'm going to tell you something. Oh, that's a tough one. You know why it's tough? Because I remember the first time I saw Fantasmic, but my memory is more on Festival of Fantasy. Oh, okay.
We got all day. No rush. I'll just play some. I'll play some music.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm going to say this. Festival of Fantasy takes it because those costumes were amazing. I remember watching it and seeing the units, right? And if you don't know what a unit is, it's a part that represents a certain movie or animated film. And I remember I was blown away because I've been a part of Disney parades, and they represent. I've been a part of the Aladdin Royal Caravan, Hercules, Mulan, Toy Story, and those floats are amazing. And usually a parade has one or two amazing floats. You're like, oh, look at that float. Oh, look at this float. But Festival of Fantasy, just every float was just like, what a great representation of the film. It was like an updated version of everything.
Right. Think about like the Peter Pan float, for example. You got the ship, and then you got a rainbow, and then you got Hook hanging underneath. It's wild. It's
definitely, you could tell they built on everything that came before. I could see them in the draft room saying, okay, let's look at how we represented Peter Pan in the past parades. And they probably looked at the pictures and said, okay, now let's encompass this film in one instead of encompassing a scene. Because I think a lot of the old parades encompassed more scenes. And this was like, no, we got one shot, let's do this. And I just remember the costumes just being so vivid and so fun.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you got the Thorn Stilts, you got the Ravens, you got the Bubble Girls, Lost Boys, Swan Court. Every single one can be considered the best, and they all are amazing.
And you're partial too. I probably can't say why you're partial.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little biased, but we're not gonna talk about that.
But I know why you're partial.
All right, next question: American Idol experience or Lights, Motors, Action?
Okay. I see you picked these specifically for me, Brian. I see what
no,
you're
it's just random. Picked them out of that.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Oh, man, listen, these are two shows that I don't think we'll ever see again. I had the honor of performing at both, right? I was the director for Lights, Motors, Action. And, it was so much fun. But the stunt people in that show are amazing. They have gone on to do films and are still doing films. And one of my favorite things when I was the director at Lights, Motors, Action is when the show opens, the cars are driving around, and then on the stage, which the stage transforms, these ramps come up, and then they're chasing the hero car, which is the red car, and it's driving backwards. And then the car comes around, and what happens is the ramps are split apart, and the red car jumps the ramp backwards. And my favorite thing to listen for is the gasp from the audience, because the whole time when the cars are on the ground, they believe they're on a track. They just don't believe because they're so good at maneuvering and so close and tight and precise. People just go, oh, it's on a track. When that car leaves the ground and goes by itself in the sky, I would always wait for that. And it would give me so much adrenaline to continue the show. They just go, American Idol is a show that I don't think we'll ever see at Walt Disney World again. I think it embodied what Disney's Hollywood Studios was about. And it's how do you make movies? But not only that, what people don't realize is that the American Idol experience was two experiences. There was another side that was the audition facility. That was another well-oiled machine. And this was an experience where if you felt you can sing, you can go audition in the audition facility before you got into the show. But what the show director, Mark Renfro, and the producers and all those people knew is that not everybody will make it into the show. So they turned the audition experience into its own experience. So you could go through that. Maybe you don't make it into the show, but the producers that would listen to you sing and move you on to the next level of auditioning tried to make a positive experience. And sometimes if you didn't make it into the show, we had very talented people that were performers, that were singers at Walt Disney World, and vocal coaches, and they had the vocal coaches, would actually coach these people and give them professional advice and really talk to them and say, you know what, you have a good foundation, try this and do this. And sometimes you might be in the auditioning and talking to a vocal coach for like 20 minutes as they try to really encourage you, tell you you're not in the show, but encourage you to continue, because maybe you're not ready yet. And I think that is a part of the American Idol experience that people didn't really know if you were just going to the show, because there were two levels, right? You just had the audience going to see the show and they're like, oh, look at these singers. But where are those singers coming from, right? They are tourists just like you in the park auditioning. So I think those are two juggernauts that we'll never see again. But I think I'd have to pick. It's a tough one because fans of American Idol loved it. But I think Lights, Motors, Action had a broader appeal. I think as for something to just sit and watch.
All right, final question, and this one is the big one. All right, this is the championship question. Would you rather wait 5 hours for Rise of the Resistance and then it breaks down when you're next in line and you never get to experience it? Or would you rather park on the other side of the world in like the far corner of the Discovery lot at Epcot, and as you're exiting the park, it starts torrential downpouring?
Man. Oh man.
Yeah, that took a couple of days.
Yeah, that's a bad one. Yeah, you're torturing people here. Oh man. Oh gosh. And you're going home at Epcot. And that's a big parking lot.
Big parking lot, exactly.
Oh,
no umbrella.
Goodness. And you got to get in the car.
No umbrella. Yeah.
I'm gonna do Rise because I can complain if it breaks down.
That's a good point.
The queue line is
and you
amazing.
got the queue.
Listen, I want to tell you viewers a little thing here that's really cool. At Galaxy's Edge in California and Galaxy's Edge here in Florida, they're set up a little different, but it's the same land. But what's unique about the one in California is the Rise of the Resistance is a rebel hideaway built in an ancient cave. And at Disneyland, the look of that cave is more like they just got there. And there's still more remnants of the past, along with what the rebels have brought. But when you come to Florida, it's like they've been there a while. So they've taken over more. So if you ever get a chance to visit both coasts and you do get to experience Rise, go through the queue line and watch the little different details. And I think that's what I love about Disney, is the details. Right?
That's cool. I thought they were identical, so that's good to know.
Yeah. No, they're a little bit different. So see if you can find those little nuances. But it'll be Rise. I think I'd rather wait on Rise and have it break down. But I'm hoping that Disney will make some magic because it breaks down and be like, come back.
Right. You're still in the
walking to Epcot, you're leaving. There's no more magic.
They're not letting you back in once you're outside.
It's like a waterfall.
Point, right.
It's like, man.
Right. You walk right out of it. That's it. It's the Disney bubble. You know, when you're in the park, it's nice. You go outside, downpour.
Boom.
Right. That's how it works. All right. Final question here. You're going to a dinner with the boss. Not Mickey Mouse, but Walt Disney, okay? Let's say the myth was real. He was frozen. They brought him back.
So he's been gone a while, is what you're saying?
He's been gone. Yes, he's been gone since 66. He's back. It's 2021. He's better than ever. You're going to dinner with him. You get the opportunity to ask him one question during dinner.
Man, okay. So I'm going. He's just been brought back.
Yes. Let's assume he's acclimated. Okay. Let's assume he's like, it's not freaking out.
All right,
he didn't just go straight to dinner.
He's just like, okay, I gotta have dinner with Mark.
Right. Let's say it's been a week. Okay. It's been a week.
It's been a week. Could you imagine?
Well, yeah.
That makes a difference with somebody that's been dead that long.
Yeah.
It's been a week. So he's got his own TikTok. It's been a week.
Yeah.
Right.
So, swipe up to subscribe to Walt's TikTok.
Oh man, I think I'd ask him. I would ask him, how do you feel about the acquisition of the Star Wars franchise and the Marvel franchise? Now, the reason I do that is because I see in the Twitterverse and on social media, everybody's like, Walt wouldn't want this and Walt wouldn't want that. And it's kind of funny. I'm just kind of like, you don't know what Walt would want. But I would ask Walt how he felt about the acquisition of the Star Wars franchise and the Marvel franchise. How do you feel about that? I think I know what he would say. I think he'd be positive about it. So that's my answer. Now, to elaborate a little bit more, what I was going to say is that even though these intellectual properties are in the park, people don't realize that Disney is still pushing the envelope in technology. And that's what Walt was about. The theme park had a different technology, and he was pushing technology when he built the theme parks and his attractions. They were pushing the envelope when it came to design. And I think that's what Walt would tap into. Is like, what are we doing? Okay, we're doing Guardians of the Galaxy, fine, but what is it? What's the experience? What's the story? You know, Rise of the Resistance. Brian, have you ridden it?
I have.
So
yes, I have.
So not to give anything away, but the technology.
Yeah,
thing,
no, it's insane. It's like combining 10 rides into one.
I felt like I was. I don't know how you felt when I got off Rise. I felt like I was on Rise for a week.
Yeah,
and I think you know, a lot of props to you know, it's now in Bob Chapek's hands, and I've met Bob Chapek. I've got to interview him many times, so we're in good hands. But you know what Bob Iger did is just, you know, I really feel like, I mean, I really feel like it was Walt Disney and Bob Iger. I think Walt will be very happy with Bob Iger.
Yeah, no, I'm a big Iger fan. Great book, by the way. Thanks so much, Mark, for doing this. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was awesome. This or that.
Yeah, this or that. Yeah, you signed off on the name, so it's gonna stick now. To find out more about Mark, visit his Instagram at LOL4MarkDaniel. That'll do it for episode 1 of Interviewing the Magic. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe. Click that bell icon. This way you're notified every time we come out with new episodes of Inside 300 and Interviewing the Magic. I'm your host, Brian Perry, and I'll see you next time.
And Mark Daniel is an amazing.
Isn't he terrific?
Unbelievable. Wasn't he great?
Yeah.
I mean,